Good morning, Amanda. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining me today on the Conquer Rundown podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So we are here to talk about every 15 minutes project that we just concluded. So before we get into that, I want to get to know you a little bit more, Amanda. So tell me about yourself. Who are you? What grade are you in? And anything you want to let us know.
Well, my name is Amanda. At home, I actually go by Sophia, which, fun fact. But yeah, I'm a senior here at Los Altos High School, and I'm very excited to graduate this year.
Yeah, you've been in my program for 3 years, successfully completed the program, and now you're my TA. You're my right-hand person. So the Every 15 Minutes project, this was a big event for the program, and you had a special job in this. What was that?
Me and my friend Ashley were a part of the documentary team, which was kind of to get like behind the scenes shots, I guess, of everyone who was a part of this project.
Yeah, so it really wasn't about you filming the project. It was you filming the behind the scenes, right? What was the purpose for that? What was the goal?
I think it was more just for like the people, the AV club, like all of the people who kind of like who were filming, like I guess just to give insight as to exactly like what we were doing and how much work and effort was put in that nobody like out there really saw, I guess.
Yeah, this was the first of its kind for us. We've never done a production like this, and I've shared before that this project is. So let me go back and let me clue some of our listeners in case this is our first time listening. The Every 15 Minutes project was a production, a 2-day production put on by the CHP, in our district, and it's geared towards juniors and seniors, specifically about drinking and driving, the dangers of drinking and driving, the dangers of getting behind the wheel when you're intoxicated, and what comes after that. What happens? What is the aftermath? It's not just you get in an accident and you get to walk away. No, sometimes deadly consequences become of that, and then you have to deal with the courts and the jail system, and our students got a firsthand look at that. And you were part of the documentary team, and you were part of the behind the scenes. You wanted to show the people what goes on behind the scenes, what went good for us, what went bad for us, and more specifically, you got a chance to document it so that if we ever do this again, we've got something to build from, and that was special. So, Amanda, talk to me. What were your thoughts leading into this project?
When you had first presented it, I was really, really, really excited. I was like, we have never done something this big and at least like this impactful for a lot of students. So I was very excited to be a part of such a big project that was bigger than us for sure. I was really, really happy to be a part of it.
And that's the key, right? It's not about you anymore, right? It's not about Amanda. It's not about the student out there. It's the students that were helping me put this together. It was about the final product. And what I always said is, if we could save one person, then all that hard work was worth it.
Sure,
all the stress that we went through, all the issues that we suffered, it was worth it just to change one person's mind,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. It was there was during the assembly when the video was played at the beginning, you could tell the kids were like laughing and joking, but towards the end they got serious and a lot of people were actually crying, which to me felt like we did it right. Like we did something right.
So why do you think they were crying? What do you think happened there?
So I feel like when the people got to like share, the people who were a part of the 15 minutes, they got to share their like actual experience, that it was more than just the show they put on, that it was real and impacted their parents. I think the other kids started to think about it too, and they're like, so this was real. They actually didn't get to contact their parents for a while. There was a lot of stuff that went into
I'm
that.
glad you bring that up. That's something we haven't talked about. But so the 17 students that were chosen for this, the actors that were chosen for this performance, they once they were taken out of their room, they were pronounced the Walking Dead. So they had no contact with their family, no contact with their siblings. They got their phones taken away, and they spent the day at a hotel to really drive that message across. Like, hey, you can't talk to your family now. They don't know what's going on. For all they know, this is real. You were in an accident and you're no longer sleeping under their roof today. And that was powerful. That's something that a lot of people didn't get a chance to feel. And maybe we have to touch on that next time we do a project like this. But that was it. The whole family felt the effects of this project.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't just the student. It was everyone that they're close to was affected too.
Yeah. So that was leading up to it. Talk to me about the day of the production. What was going through your head?
Oh, I was nervous. I was
Why?
really nervous. There was people running around. There was like all kinds of stuff, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like, what is happening right now?" There was just so many. I didn't even see you half the time. Like that day, it was everyone was doing all kinds of things, but it was cool. It was really cool to see and be a part of something like that, where everyone had their set job. And it was cool because they were only focusing on that job and like nothing else.
Yeah.
Their goal was to get this production finished.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to see something like that.
Yeah. So as the production is going, did you see anything going wrong that day? Did you see something that you really liked that you happen to capture on film, the behind the scenes, the documentary part?
So to touch on the things that went wrong, yeah, there was one instance where you weren't in the classroom. And people were like frantic over something that they were supposed to get done, and they didn't know what to do. And so I felt the need to step up and kind of take charge because no one else was there. And me just sitting around watching them isn't going to change anything.
Good for you.
So as like, I guess like the oldest person in that classroom, even though we're like a year apart, the oldest person in the classroom, I felt the need to like step up because, you know, I had seen all this hard work that you had put in and all the work that they had put in too, that, you know, you don't want it to all just like fall apart just because one little mishap.
That's good, Amanda. So you took ownership, you took the lead, and then what happened? What did you guys do?
And then, so we went out and got the job done. I told them, you guys know where to find all the stuff that we need. Like, let's go out and do it. And then turned out like that exact scene was the one that was the longest scene that made it into the video.
Good.
I was very happy about that.
Good. And that's what this was about, right? I always do a before the production speech, before we begin. I always sit the crew down. I have them put their phones away, and I have them like, hey, let's listen to me. Mm-hmm. Just no talking, no thinking, just listen. And I gave that speech, right? Like, hey, if I'm not here and something happens, you need to problem solve it.
Yeah.
I trust you guys. I picked every single student because I trust you guys. And I knew you guys weren't going to make a silly mistake, and you guys weren't going to be irresponsible, and you guys weren't going to do anything regrettable. But you guys hit the mark. You found that there was a problem, and I wasn't there to give you guys the answers or even guide you guys through it.
Yeah.
And you did it. You took ownership of that moment, and you said, hey, Mr. Garcia's not here. Let's get it done. We know what has to happen. Yeah. Let's just get it done.
That's exactly what I had told them. I'm like, Mr. Garcia has trained all of us better than that.
Good.
To just like, you know, worry and like go all. They were literally running up and down this classroom. I don't know. They were yelling at each other. There was so much stuff. And I'm like,
my God. Did you document that?
No, I didn't. I was yelling.
Yeah.
I was yelling at them. And I'm just like, you guys, like we were taught better than this.
Yeah.
Like we have to, everyone stop talking, quiet down.
Good.
And then, you know, we figured out like what needs to be done, and then we went out and did it.
You know what's crazy about that is 3 years ago, if I told you you're going to lead a team one day, everyone's going to be panicking, everyone's going to be nervous, no one's going to be there to hold your hand through this, you're going to lead the team, would you believe me?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. 3 years. So I had actually joined your class, I think, before freshman year.
Correct.
During summer school. And I was just starting to like show interest in doing stuff like this, but I still didn't talk very much. You
were shy.
Just to
get a word out of you was impossible. So summer school is a 6-week course. Mm-hmm. So I try to jam 6 week, a whole year worth of material, 10 months worth of material in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's never easy. And you could talk on that. not the best work comes out of summer school because we're so rushed. But it's a great opportunity for freshmen to meet new people. This is a new school, and now you're hanging out with sophomores and juniors and seniors, and you guys are creating stuff. So it was a fun experience.
It was.
But you were a totally different person back then.
Yeah.
I mean, day and night. And look at you. Now you're taking the lead. Now you're starting your own school business. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But you have gone through that butterfly stage now, right? Where you're flying and you're calling the shots and you know where you want to go. You're no longer that caterpillar, right?
Sure, yeah.
You speaking of butterflies, that's on your shirt, right?
I have butterflies on today.
Yeah. And so we'll get back to your business and the future and what you have going. But talk to me about what did you capture, or what happened that you were pretty proud of during the production? Not after, but during the production, the day of.
So I think one of the things that I remember capturing the most was while we were in here, it was kind of like the calm before the storm that I felt that I captured. It was like right before we were just about to start, like they were excited. They weren't as nervous. They were really excited. And then gradually they started to get nervous and panic a little bit.
Yeah, I spoke on this earlier. There was this nervous tension, like 2 minutes right before we were about to start. Everybody it just got quiet.
Yeah.
Everybody started looking at each other, and I swear I could hear heartbeats pumping through their shirts.
I could feel it too. We were all really, really nervous because we had been looking forward to this day for how many weeks? For like 4 or 5 weeks.
And now it's here.
And it came just like that.
And then that's when I gave the speech. Like, I told everybody, give me everything you have today, Amanda. No matter what you're going through, you could be nervous, you could be scared. Just give me everything you have right now. Your professionalism, the hard work. If you don't eat, you don't eat. Just keep working. If you need a break and you don't have time for a break, just keep working. And that's exactly what this club did. I was super proud as I saw everybody just hustling. People were thirsty. People were afraid to leave the room, not ask for permission, because they were, there was those moments where I needed Tyler here. Where's Tyler? Tyler was nowhere to be found. Where is Tyler? Exactly.
Have his walkie.
And things were falling apart, but you guys gave me 100%.
I'm not really like a part like of the AV club like specifically, but
Stop it. Stop it.
Not. But there was I still know who everyone is, and they're all really quiet. They're all really shy.
Oh yeah.
But the day of the event, they were doing all the work they needed to be done. There was constant communication with everyone. It was like they were entirely different people than what I normally see them. Yeah. And I thought, like, wow, that's how you know that they were really dedicated to this. Yeah. I was very, very proud to see them like that.
Talk to me about the day of the event. The day after the event, during the assembly, and you see the video. And because you and I are close. You've been in my program for 3 years. You and I have formed the Los Altos Sports Department. You and we talk on a personal level. I know your parents. I love your dad. I love your mom. Like
they're probably gonna be hearing this. And
I miss them. I miss them already. And when you graduate, there's gonna be an emptiness in me. And but. Talk to me about the day of the event when we're actually premiering the video to the entire school. What was that like?
So the day I went home on Thursday, I was mad.
Why?
Because things just like I didn't feel as though everything had went correctly.
Oh my God.
So I wasn't even talking to my mom. I was mad at her.
Oh my God.
I'm like, Mom, like I can't, like nothing went right today. Like I just felt, at least for like nothing was going right.
So you carried that negative energy home?
I told her, like, Mom, I'm upset. And I even told my dad and I told my sister, I cannot. I was so mad. And then Friday morning, and then we go to the assembly and we sit down and the thing starts to play. And I start sobbing. I cried almost the entire video.
Oh my
through
God.
all the speeches, through everything. I was like ugly crying. I was crying loud.
Why?
And I think like seeing the final like thing all together, it made it seem it was worth it. God. Nothing went wrong with the video. Not a single thing went wrong. And I'm just like, I felt good. I felt really good about seeing it all come together.
Amanda, you're bringing a tear to my eye.
I was
Oh my
very,
God.
very, very happy. Like, I even told my mom, I messaged her too. I'm like, it was perfect.
Oh,
It
wow.
was great. I
Really?
was super, super, super proud of it. And just like, it was very emotional to me because they had, towards the end of the assembly, they had said it wasn't even like the teachers felt as though they lost their students too. And it hit me because I had just recently lost one of my friends too, not because of car accident, but I had just lost her too, at the beginning of the school year, and that one really hit me hard.
Yeah.
It hit me really, really, really hard because we had been friends for a long time, and just hearing the teachers say that when they lose a student, it's not just a student.
Yeah.
It's they lost a part of themselves.
I mean, you think of how close you and I are. You know, you and I, with your family, we've traveled to basketball games together. Yeah. We sit together. We buy each other drinks. We sit there. We talk. So we developed this bond, this strong bond. You know, when you got that acceptance letter, I got emotional. when you're going through stuff, I get emotional. Yeah. Imagine just losing the teacher or losing that student like that. You know, it's those moments that's like, oh my God. And now we're seeing it on video, and we saw 12 students, 17 students, you know, that didn't get a chance to go home that day.
I was friends with a lot of them. A lot of those people involved, and it felt so real.
Yeah.
Especially that one ambulance scene.
Oh my God.
Like that one, I was crying and sobbing because I know her, and I know her parents too. And so I was just
That's what's crazy about this. You knew it was fake. You knew it was staged, but we got you. We got you. We got you right in the feelings.
Because when you're just watching it, I'm not worried about who's sitting right next to me. I'm not worried about that. I'm just watching the video.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just talked to her a couple days ago. Like,
and that was the moment that we wanted everybody to feel. Do you think we got that from everybody?
I think the day of the actual event, no.
Okay.
The day after. And when they watch the video, absolutely.
Wow.
For sure. 100%, yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. Thank you. So let's take a look at the screen real quick. This was another moment that I want to talk about where you just, hey, let's just watch this.
Oh, no.
That right there is the moment.
I know what this is.
For those of you guys just listening here, I'm showing a scene right now of the actual car accident, and there's my girl. There's my girl. What she's doing on the screen is literally what she's doing right now. So throughout the production, I needed some staged actors to be to be planted in certain areas at certain times so that we get and we draw a feeling and emotion. And from the very beginning, about 3 weeks before the event, I said, hey, who could cry on command? And Amanda, as you hear on the podcast, she's already an emotional person. Without a hesitation, Amanda raises her hand and she's like, I could cry, Mr. Garcia. What did I say, Amanda?
He said, no, sit back down. He told me to sit right back down.
She's part of the documentary team, so she's not supposed to be on camera. She's just supposed to be filming. She's just supposed to be just capturing, you know, the behind the scenes. And that was 3 weeks before the event. And then a week before the event, and even 2 days before the event, I announced again, who could cry on command? Nobody raised their hand. And then Amanda raises her hand. Mr. Garcia, if you need me to cry, I'll cry. Amanda, no, stop.
He kept turning me down.
And wouldn't you know, the day of the event, Amanda just says, again, she takes leadership. She sees that nobody's crying. She sees that nobody is giving me that emotion that I've been asking for, that I've been begging for, that I've been pushing. I need somebody to cry. And what did you do, Amanda?
I started to cry right on command, just like I told you I was able to do.
And wow, that was a true moment that really got me, because she kind of put me in my place. You know, she saw that I needed something. She saw nobody was willing to do it. And she said, you know what, I'm going to give it. And if Mr. Garcia doesn't use it, he doesn't use it. But at least he has it.
Yeah.
And that to me was a powerful moment. Not only you taking leadership and knowing what I needed and getting it done, but you did it yourself, you know, and thank you for that. That I've seen you cry for several reasons. One, when your dad left to Mexico on his birthday, or for your grandmother's funeral.
It was, I think, my great grandma.
Your great grandma's funeral, and he was gone for 4 days. And all I did was ask, "Hey, Amanda, how's your dad?" And she starts to cry. She's like, "I've never been away from my dad for this long. I can't handle it." I was like, "Oh my God, what did I do?" You know, and yeah, and Amanda's a very emotional person, and I think that's why her and I are so close, because, you know, so am I. You know, I cry, you know, when everyone leaves. I sit here and have my moments too. But yeah, this moment here was really impactful, because it's shown not only that bystanders seeing an accident, you know, go through it too, but, you know, we know these kids. We know these kids, and they made a bad decision, and now they're all suffering. Some were dead on arrival, and then some were some were paralyzed, and then some were just really severely hurt. And you gave me that emotion that I needed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So Amanda, let's talk about who you are and what you're currently working on right now. So what's in the future for you as Amanda, the graduate of Los Altos High School?
So right now, I was thinking of just like doing community college just for now.
Good.
Because I want to continue and take photos for this school, because it's I have a lot of connections now, and parents pay me like decent money to take photos of their kids.
So let's talk about that. So you successfully passed my course 3 years strong, and you decided to take up 2 new classes that were pretty brand new to you, and kind of like broke you out of that shell that you had. So you joined yearbook.
Yes.
Totally brand new to you.
Yeah, I've never done anything with yearbook.
Okay. And then you joined digital graphics.
Yes.
Right?
I had done digital graphics my freshman year with the previous teacher, but I had never shown like any actual interest in it until this year.
And then you joined both of those classes, and then what happened?
And then it became the best thing I've ever done.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I saw a new person in you. You started going to more events. Now you were everywhere. It wasn't just video production events. Now you were at every single event. Anytime I went to film, you were there taking pictures. I saw your mom and dad there.
Yeah, my parents always came with me, and I tell them that a lot. I'm like, I don't always like say thank you at the end of the night, but like, they know how much it meant to me to be there with me.
And I'm going to talk about them in a second, because they mean a lot to me too. And we'll touch on that. But let's keep going. So now you're at every single event, and you're taking photos, and your photos mean something, because they're going to be in a yearbook. They're going to be cemented in our history forever. And then you also started your own digital graphics business here on campus. Talk to me about that.
So I really am not sure like how it started. I had Mr. Crowell was telling me, hey, like for senior night, like we can start making these banners. Is that something you want to do? And I'm like, okay. So it started, I had made like just regular posters, just like designs. And then he actually printed out a physical banner for me to give to a mom who had gave me a super generous donation just out of her own heart. She didn't even receive a poster that day. She donated to me, and I told my teacher about it, and he printed out a banner. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know we could do that. And then, so I showed the parents, and they said like, hey, like we want one. So I'm like, okay. So me and my teacher had talked about prices and whatever. And then we did 5 banners for senior night for the boys basketball team. And then another parent reached out from another basketball team for the girls JV team. And he wanted one for every single person. So that was, I think 12 banners, I think.
Wow.
And that was a lot of money. And I was very proud to have made something like that. And I had mentioned it to my dance teacher. I was just telling her because I was proud of it.
Uh-huh.
And she said, do you think we can do them for the dancers?
Wow.
And I'm like, that's a lot. That's 15 banners now. And I'm like, yes, absolutely, because I get one too. So I was very happy about that. And so now like things just kind of kept falling into place. Like one person liked it. Oh, I want one of those too. Like, and so it all just kept going and going and going.
So why do you think that happened? Well,
I don't know. Like I was proud of it. I was
Yeah.
proud of it too. And I don't know if parents, if that's what they had wanted.
Uh-huh.
So seeing them, that they would message me all the time, hey, like, can we do something like this? I had one mom who means the absolute world to me. She would always ask me, is there any way we can do something like this? I
Wow.
want to include all the boys in it.
Good.
And she was my biggest supporter all basketball season.
Good.
And she was the one who kind of like pushed me to do all these things. Like, she was the one, her son didn't get a senior banner because he wasn't a senior. And she still constantly pushed it to help me grow as a person. I love her so much.
That's one of the things you inspired me to do, more networking events, because that's exactly what you did. So you inspired me to host a once a month event here in our class where different clubs are going to come on, into the class. We're going to talk about what are your needs? What do you want? How can we help you? How can we connect the dots and help each other so that we don't have to go out and buy banners and shirts from a company?
Yeah.
We could do it right here.
Exactly.
You know, we've got, 40 other Amandas in that classroom. They may not be as skilled as you or dedicated as you, but if we give them an opportunity, they could do it.
Yeah.
And you were the inspiration for that. I'm gonna open that up to more people.
That's cool.
But it's still gonna be your job, your money going through. But I'm just gonna start, having these opportunities
That's
for
really
other
cool.
students to learn from what you've already laid out for us. So now you've got your own business going. You're making some money. Let's not talk about how much, or else I'm gonna get my feelings hurt. But you're doing a lot of good stuff for you.
Thank you.
What's in the future for you?
I really don't know. Like I said earlier, I think just like photography is something that I'm really, really passionate about. I think photography and like running social media accounts, that's what I love to do. I'm really good at social media. I'm on my phone all day. But like I know how to like run statistics, and I know how certain things work, like how to get views up and when my views are down. Like I know all these things now.
Good.
And social media was a way to like reach out to 100 other people.
Wow.
My social media account that I had started, that was actually, you had told me to start it last year. It had, at the beginning of this year, I had about 60 followers. I had 60, which I thought was crazy already. And then right now, I think I have 314 followers.
Whoa. What's that account?
The Conquer Rundown Sports.
Conquer Rundown Sports on Instagram.
Yes. So
Good.
anyone hearing this, you guys want to go follow that.
Follow her, ask her for some banners, ask her for what else she could provide for you. She's doing some great work over there. Okay. So you're a senior now, you're graduating. How do you want to be remembered here at Los Altos?
I think I want to be remembered as the person who was always there at all the events. People tell me, random people, I just saw you here last night, and now you're here at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yep, that's exactly how I want to be remembered, as the one who was always there, as the one who always took photos of everything. I think that's how I want to be remembered.
And you will be remembered. So before we leave, I want to talk about your parents real quick, because they are a big inspiration for me, and I'm gonna tell you why. So first, Armando and Veronica have always been not only her transportation to events, but they have also been working behind the scenes. They open up her bag, they get her batteries ready, they sit there, they support. The mom is constantly offering me water. That lady can't stop buying me water. I'm like, no, I'm good. And she just has a bottle of water ready for me to drink. And, they are the nicest, sweetest, but most importantly, the most supportive parents that you could have. And that plays big, because you had that support, and you had me as a support too. But they could really be honest with you with certain things, where I'm just your teacher and I'm gonna tell you, try not to hurt your feelings, and just try to get you to learn from something. But your parents were always there to just keep pushing you, keep taking you. There's no reason why we can't go. There's no reason why you can't do this. So they were picking up some of the slack that I wasn't doing. And they're very supportive. Your mom also is one of the reasons why I'm starting a booster club next year. So yeah, you let her know if you're listening, Veronica. Thank you so much. You inspired me to get other parents to be as supportive as you are. You're always there. Let's give you a task. If parents are always there taking their son, their daughter to events, to all these games, let's get them involved. They want to be involved. And from the very beginning, she told me, Mr. Garcia, how can I help you? What can I do to help you? And I just needed her as a friend and as a support, and that's exactly what she was. She was there to make me laugh a lot. And she was very supportive. But now I want to take that and build on it, and I want to form a booster club. Who knows? She might be the first member of our booster club.
I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will. We'll come back.
Yeah. So we're gonna build a booster club based on the foundation that your mom and dad laid out: support, love, and then everything else, the volunteerism will fall into place. And she would do that. She helped us sell waters one day. She helped us get donations, box donations, and people around campus love her. They know her.
She's everyone's favorite lunch lady.
She can't stop getting high fives on her way down. There was a moment where she never even sat with me and your dad because she was recognized by all the parents, recognized by all the students, and then we were like, oh, look at her. She's too good for us now, but really she planted a seed in me, and I'm going to water it, nourish it, so that next year we have our booster club, we have a booster team, and they're going to be able to support us by financially, supporting us financially and just doing small things behind the scenes that's going to empower the experience for the students. Yeah. So thank you, and thank both of them.
I love them.
Oh, so do I. I'm going to miss them so much. Okay. Before we wrap it up, do you have anything that you would like to promote? Any event, any events coming up, any social media that you have out there?
Well, I mean, not really, other than like the Conquer Rundown Sports. Every time I go out to a new event, I always try and make a post just to give as many people exposure as I possibly can for them and for myself. And I think a lot of people like my social media accounts, and they have fun, and they're always looking out for when I'm going to post next.
Okay, real quick, before we leave, the final question I always ask anybody, I need to ask you, what did you learn about yourself during this every 15-minute project?
I learned that I'm able to take control when necessary. Like we had already talked about that one instance, like something in me like just felt the need to take over because, like, again, I had already said this, that I didn't want it to all see it fall apart when it was something so small that could be changed. So I felt like I definitely even grew from that moment up till now. It was just last week that I feel like I can take control over more certain instances.
And I'm super proud. Your mom and I talk all the time because, again, the shy freshman 3 years ago, walking into class, not wanting to talk, not wanting to be part of anything. And here you are leading a group. You saw the need. You saw that somebody needed to take charge. You knew everybody had the answers and the skills to make this happen, but nobody was taking that lead. Mm-hmm. And you did. And that speaks a lot about your growth, and not only in this program, but who you are, Thank you, young lady. I really appreciate you as my TA and my production student. You're making me very proud. I'm very proud to be your teacher.
I couldn't have done any of that without you, because you were the one that kind of allowed me to first start any of this. Like the day you took me out to that very first football game when no students were allowed to come, it was just me, you, and our best friend Jamie. And
shout out to Jamie.
I love her so much. That she was the all of you guys were the one that kind of lit that spark underneath that I think I really needed.
Yeah, all we needed to tell you was the truth. You could do this. Yeah. If this is what you want to do, go do it. Mm-hmm. And that was the first thing you said, Mr. Garcia, I think I found what I want to do. Yeah. I'm like, okay, let's get it done. What do you need?
Who knew that it would have come to this? That I've run so many different things, never missed a single football game, never missed a single basketball game. I'm now getting into baseball and softball.
Before we leave, Amanda has over 200 hours logged in production work. Just listen to that. In the last 2 years, Amanda has logged in 200 hours. That's planning, that's traveling, that's shooting, that's editing. And then we tied in the extra factor of the social media. And then she stopped with production and she moved on to photography and the digital graphics. And all that ties in. We're in the same family, we're in the same industry, but that's over 200 hours. That's crazy.
That's insane. I didn't know that was that number.
All volunteer, volunteer hours that you put out there. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of you, Amanda. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all our time for today with our special guest, Amanda. Thank you very much, Amanda. I really appreciate you. And everyone else, we'll see you around the bend. Thanks.